Today on the Pillz Podcast, we're answering questions that Christian women have for Christian men. I am very educated, make six figures, and I'm not ashamed of it. But I keep hearing that men don't care for smart or successful women. Why are men intimidated by me? Let's get it. You're now listening to the Pillz Podcast, your best resource for cultivating meaningful, healthy, long-lasting, romantic relationships that bloom into strong marriages. Welcome to Pillz. Welcome to Pillz. That's with a Z if you couldn't tell. Ha ha! Love, fully scripted. We back, beloved. Your man, G-Man, Brother Gordon, your big brother, your unk, all the above. We back. No pills, no blue pills, no red pills. Your love life is the vehicle. The Bible is the owner's manual, and God is the manufacturer. Yeah. How we doing, friends? How we doing out there? First things first, on my list today, on my agenda, before we get into answering these questions from Christian women, first thing on my agenda today, there are 409 of you. 409 of you out there that have subscribed to the Pillz Podcast. We are on episode 51. You've stuck with me for 50 episodes. Some of you, all the way from the beginning. If you've been with me from the beginning, man, leave me a comment down in the comments section and let me know you've been with me since podcast 1. All right, episode 1. Shout out to you, man. I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you. For everybody who's leaving a comment on the videos, thumbs up, thumbs down. I know there's some of you giving me thumbs down, disliking some of the content. Hey, you know what? Thank you. I wish there was an option, though, when a person said thumbs down, they were able to leave some, like give me some feedback. You know what I mean? Just don't give me a thumbs down on the video, but let me know why you're giving it a thumbs down. Don't be hating non-constructively. I need constructive feedback, constructive criticisms. You know what I mean? But nevertheless, thank you for hitting the thumb in some direction. Appreciate you for doing that. Yeah, man, 51 episodes. I'm always questioning if the podcast is answering or alleviating a pain point for the listener. The whole purpose of me being here with you during this time is to really answer questions and to provide a solution that's not red pill or blue pill based, that's really is based and founded in the scriptures, that's coming from a godly Christian biblical perspective, because God, who designed relationships, knows how they best operate. That's just what it is, friends. You cannot like it, love it, hate it. The truth is the truth. So my desire and goal with starting the Pillz Podcast, Love Fully Scripted, was to be able to provide you resources, to provide you with solutions that actually work, that are real solutions. So you're not running around here with your heart broke every other weekend, every other month, every other year, but you can actually know how to have good, healthy relationships that bloom into marriages. It's in the intro, friends. All right, listen. We're answering questions from Christian women that were posed to Christian men. I got these handed to me by a good friend of mine, and I'm eager to get into them, so let's just jump right into the questions. Question number 1. I am very educated, make six figures, and I'm not ashamed of it. But I keep hearing that men don't care for smart or successful women. Why are men intimidated by me? I'm going to be honest with you, sis. The wording of this question tells me, oh, mercy, tells me why you may be alone. The wording of it, just how the tone, it just gives me some potential insights. For example, you said, I am not ashamed of it. Okay, you're educated, make six figures. I am not ashamed of it. Are you obnoxious about it? I mean, good for you. You're educated. You make six figures. Whoop-de-doo. Do we need to be broadcasting that? Do you need to put a t-shirt on, wear a hat? I mean, you're an adult. Good for you. You make good money. You're educated, highly educated, very educated. I mean, all right. You could still be a terrible person. You could still have a terrible attitude. You could be obnoxious. You could be overbearing. I don't know why we're starting out that way. So I'm just wanting to bring that to your attention, sis. Like, that's wild to me. And what do you mean by I'm not ashamed of it? That just sounds like I want to throw up in my mouth. Like get away from me. Like, oh my goodness, here we go. I got to hear about this again. Like, who leads with that? I know a lot of times as adults, the first question we ask somebody is, oh, what do you do for a living? So I'm not hating, but it's just like, who cares how much money you make? Who cares how educated you are? It's about your character. Are you a delightful person? Are you a delightful female? So just the whole wording. Let's keep going. Who told you? Who told you to be ashamed about being educated or making six figures? Like, what man? Where are you getting this vibe? This impression that you need to be ashamed of all the words you could have chosen to use, ashamed of making six figures and being highly educated. Listen, you being a high earner and you think there's some shame associated, maybe that's coming from you. I don't know if you're projecting that onto other people, it's coming back onto yourself, but there should be no shame in that. It just doesn't need to be overbearing and toxic. You know what I mean? Like, just be a cool person to hang out with, to get to know. Men, quote, you said men don't care for successful women and men are intimidated by me. I want to handle these two together, okay? Men don't care for successful women. Wow. And men are intimidated by me. Has a man told you he's intimidated by you? Or are you assuming that men are intimidated by you? So if this is you, if you're this type of sister, you think that men are intimidated by you, I want to know, have you confirmed that with any man? Okay? Men don't care for successful women. No, men on average, okay, on average, don't care for demanding women. We don't care for demanding women. Assertive women. Dominant women. Domineering women. Disrespectful women. We don't care for disrespectful women. I don't know, female or male alike. No one likes to be disrespected. But especially in a relationship between a husband and a wife, if your wife doesn't respect you, crazy. We don't care for masculine women. Okay? On average, men don't care for masculine women. Okay? The human body, our human frame, 2 arms, 2 legs, 1 head. 1 head. That head determines where the body goes. We both can't be the head. Does this make sense, ladies? It's from nature. We're pulling it right from nature's book, God's book of nature. We're going to go right to God's book of nature. There's 1 head on a human body. We both can't be the leader. We can't both decide we're going to go left, we're going to go right, we're going to go east, we're going to go west. No. One person has to have the final veto, the last decision in certain areas of our relationship. Say amen. All right, so Dr. Jordan Peterson, he is a Canadian psychologist. Some of you may have heard of him. Some of you may not have heard of him. Some of you may like him. Some of you may dislike him. I'm not sure. But he made, as a professional, as a psychologist, he made this statement, and I quote, the higher the IQ a woman has, the less likely it is she is going to find a partner, end quote. So, I mean, if you're around here trumpeting, woohoo, I'm a highly, very educated woman, just statistically speaking, through research, the higher your IQ, the less likely it is you're going to actually find a spouse. So I don't know why we're celebrating that. Nothing wrong with being educated as a woman. Praise the Lord. But just know what you're up against. Furthermore, okay? Furthermore, just as a matter of fact, there is some research, okay, that is suggesting that women who are high earners may be more likely to experience divorce or remain single compared to women with lower earnings. So it sounds like you're leading, sis, with something that's not really positive. Like, the higher your IQ, less likely you are to get married and more likely to remain single. And then it's like, research is suggesting that you're also more likely to divorce. So why would a man be excited about those attributes of you, especially if you're leading with those attributes? In some cases, that could be a turnoff. I'm just saying. So here's my advice to you. Find yourself a man who is a high earner like yourself, makes six figures like you are, and is highly educated. And hopefully he'll find you. Maybe put yourself in the proximity of men like this, so one of those men can marry you. So that way you're not coming down. Because naturally, women are hypergamous, right? You always court up. If you're in the world, you always date up. You never date down. So go find yourself a man that's in your bracket, that's in your range. Now, just note, as I'm telling you that fact, around 20% of men in the United States earn six figures. That is 1 in 5 men. Now, here's what's going to happen. That number is going to go down when you start to add in all your preferences. How tall does he have to be? What ethnicity does he have to be? Hair texture? Where does he drive? What kind of car does he drive? Whatever your preferences are, wherever you're at, does he fear God? Does he not fear God? That number is going to get smaller than 20%. It's going to get smaller than 1 in 5. So do with that knowledge what you will. But know this, a highly educated, high earning man, won't need his wife to be highly educated or a high earner. He won't need that. I'm not saying he would want somebody dumb, that men want dumb girls, dumb women. But if he's a high earner and highly educated himself, he will not need that from his wife. So no matter how much a high earning man makes, he will not want to be disrespected. He will want you to be attractive, not overweight, fit, friendly, not mean, not assertive, not domineering, not masculine. And he definitely won't want you to have a bunch of past sexual partners. So I don't care if he's a high earner or a low earner, men on average are not going to want these things. So sis, take all this and hopefully it will help you find you or be found by the right man, God-fearing man, I hope, in your life. But I think these are just some general truths that apply to a lot of men out there and that will maybe help you in your desire to find a husband with you being a high earner and highly educated. Okay. Next question. Question number 2. It's so hard to be respectful to my husband. He makes horrible decisions, like when it comes to our finances. I'm really trying to be submissive, but it keeps getting the family in trouble. How do I be submissive to a husband who won't listen to me and who always makes bad choices? All right, first things first, right out the gate. Your marriage will be miserable and or end in divorce if you do not respect your husband as his wife. No lie, I'm telling you the truth. This is crucial. Men need respect from their wives in order to function in a healthy way. The relationship needs mutual respect. But definitely your husband needs respect from you in order to function, okay? In a healthy, loving way. You said, quote, he makes horrible decisions like when it comes to our finances. Now, here's the thing, sis. It was your responsibility before you said I do, to determine if he was good with finances or not. Obviously, you failed to do this for some reason. I pray that you could take accountability for that if he didn't hide anything from you. I mean, unless when you were courting, he was great with finances and then suddenly he just turned over a new leaf, which was a bad leaf, if I can call it that. And now he's just spending money like there's nobody's business and getting you guys all jacked up financially. But the courting phase should have been the time when you would have been able to recognize, hey, is he good with money or not? So if you did not do that, take your lumps like a man. Take your lumps like a woman and realize like, okay, this is something that I overlooked. I should have saw this. Now I got to deal with this. I got to pray through this. I got to work through this with my husband to the best of my human ability with the divine grace and power of God on my side. All right. Next thing I want to say to you, a submissive wife can effectively, calmly, and respectfully communicate her concerns to her husband. I want you to know that. This is important that you know this. You don't have to be disrespectful. You don't have to be condescending in your tone. You don't have to have anger. No matter how much failure is going on with your husband, no matter how many times he's failing, you don't have to demean him. You don't have to talk down to him, right? Your frustrations do not have to be communicated in your body language. You can go pray, get yourself collected, and be clear, direct, and to the point. And if you have a God-fearing man, he should be able to receive that correction or concern in love because it's being communicated to him in love. Now, you mentioned trouble, quote unquote. Sounds like when you say trouble, maybe you're speaking about debt. Like maybe your husband is now making financial decisions that is incurring a lot of debt on the family, and this could be very stressful. This is a bad thing. I am not co-signing, I am not encouraging your husband's behavior if he's making bad decisions that is leading your family into debt. I want to give you two biblical principles. Romans 13, verse 8. Owe no man anything. Romans 13, verse 8. We should not owe another person anything. 1 Timothy 5, verse 8. But if any provide not for his own, and especially those of his own house, he have denied the faith and is worse than an infidel. Let's talk about these two principles. As Christian men, okay, we are called upon, we are clearly instructed to provide for our families, okay? Now, yes, food, clothing, shelter, but also, let me speak to your husband. Let me speak to all the husbands out there, all the men on here, all my young men on here, everybody that's listening. We should manage the finances that God has lent us and made us stewards over in such a way that if we were to get sick or if we were to die, our families would be able to be taken care of at least for some time because we have a nest egg in place. We have put our finances to work in such a way that they can provide for our family in case we fall onto destitution or we're headed towards poverty, that is not an immediate panic and it's just like, okay, we're living check to check, there's nothing here. That's not good stewardship. Okay? Be nice if you could have 6 months to a year saved of your monthly expenses so your family is just not done the moment of you dying or you actually getting sick. This is a principle that if you get into a straight place, there needs to be funds there for that. If you end up getting sick, hopefully this makes sense. So men, I'm talking to you, okay? And women that have a spending problem, you should get on board with your husband's plan, and it should be a family plan to be able to have enough stored up in case you guys were to fall on hard times, lose a job, etc. Now, sis, I want to say this to you. If you have food, if you have clothing, if you have shelter, you should be content. Okay? If you die poor, who cares? The question is, will you die in Christ? So your husband, he doesn't have to be a millionaire in order to be considered successful in finances, is what I'm trying to say. And your concern really should be, your utmost concern should be, hey, are we both hid in Christ? Because all this world's going to pass away anyway. The houses and the clothes, the land, the cars, it's all going away. So if your concern is not, oh, we don't make enough, and he's just being irresponsible, there's a difference there. Like being irresponsible with finances versus, oh, I want him to make more. You didn't state this in the question, but let your concern be eternity and just being responsible with the funds that we've been given to be stewards over, okay? As Christians, our second point, we are clearly instructed to avoid debt, okay? Now, there are some debts out there that maybe we could argue are responsible debts, are good debts, a mortgage to a home, but there is irresponsible debt too. You got a credit card maxed out because you got to have Louis Vuitton shoes and red bottom shoes and all this type of nonsense and foolishness. when it has nothing to do with your needs. Okay? So we're clearly instructed from scripture to not be indebted to any man. All right? You went on to say, a husband who won't listen to me. A husband that won't listen to me. Wow. So here's my thoughts with this. Your concern should not be that your husband is listening to you, but that your husband is listening to God. And that he is a Christian man who is living his life in accordance with the word of God. God is the head of your husband is the head of you. So your main concern, the thing you should be praying about is, have I selected a husband that is willing to submit to God and to the authority of God as is found in the word of God? That will alleviate a lot of your problems. So in other words, he'll receive the counsel that we should owe no man anything. He'll receive the counsel he must provide for his family. He'll receive the counsel of good stewardship found in the scriptures. But if he's a worldly man, if God is not his head, then you're in for a long, painful ride potentially in your marriage. Okay? Now, you went on to say, quote, who always makes bad choices. Your husband always makes bad choices? Let me read you something. In psychology, words like always and never are called universal quantifiers. Therapists often advise couples to avoid using these words because they can be overgeneralized and hyperbolic and can put the other person on the defense. And let me give you some reasons why you want to refrain from using words like never and always in your communications with your husband and with others in relationship in regards to your husband. This is black and white thinking, okay? These words can lead to all or nothing thinking. It's harmful, okay? It's harmful. Secondly, it's misrepresenting reality. I mean, are we saying that he always makes a bad decision financially in everything he does? Always? He never does anything good? You need to have thoughts that are based in reality, right? And then thirdly, it communicates, at a psychological level, right? The professionals say it communicates that you are trying to be heard in an unhealthy way, right? If I say always, if I say never, then everyone will get the point. And you may be doing that subconsciously, right? It may not be an overt, intentional thing you're doing, but just know that is what's going on, all right? So here are other words you could use that are better. Sometimes, maybe even often. Maybe you could even say often, but always and never, stay away from that. So here's my advice for you and your husband. I would suggest that you and your husband find a Christian-based financial stewardship program to attend and go to. I have some Christian friends of mine that have had success going through Dave Ramsey's programs. I know everyone's not a fan of Dave Ramsey's, okay? Find who Christian-based financial counselor. You both should start studying the Bible, what it has to say about finances, right? Together, praying about it, and taking an approach where you can make it a project, make it fun, make it so we can be more successful going forward. That would be my practical advice to you and your husband. Get yourselves enrolled in some free class or a paid-for class to help you with your finances to become more financially responsible and effective for the kingdom ultimately, right? If we have more resources, we can do more things for the kingdom and spreading the gospel. All right, now moving on to our third question. I've had men tell me I'm not feminine enough, but I don't even understand what that means because I am a female. All right, so first things first. You should have, or if you can go back and ask these men who have told you this, you need to ask them if they can give you some examples of what they've observed about you that makes you not feminine enough. So that's the first place you need to start. If you can backtrack, get a hold of them, and ask them directly like, hey, what do you mean by me not being feminine enough? But let me give you some ideas of what I'm thinking. They may be speaking about your deportment. So deportment refers to a person's behavior, conduct, or manners, especially in relation to how they represent themselves in social or formal settings. It encompasses one's demeanor, posture, and the overall way they carry themselves, including their manners, etiquette, and social grace. So how do you speak? Are you loud? Are you talking over men all the time? Can they never get a word in? Are you cutting them off? Are you rude? Is the neck always swinging? Is the finger always going? Yap, 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 yap. Can you never be quiet? Are you just yapping all the time? Okay? How do you dress? Do you dress masculine? Do you present in a masculine way? What's your hairstyle like? Okay? Are you controlling? Are you assertive? Are you all tattooed up everywhere, looking masculine? Are you grabbing your crotch and spitting? I don't know, sis. I don't know. Like, are you quiet? Are you polite? Are you soft? Double back with these men and find out what's going on. Because anything I've listed just now, if you're doing any of those things, yeah, you're a little masculine, friend. You're a little masculine, sis. All right. Our fourth question. I have PCOS. All right. For those of you who don't know what PCOS is, let me tell you. Okay. PCOS is polycystic ovary syndrome. All right. And we'll double back on what that means. Let's go back to the question here. I have PCOS, which affects my weight. Despite me being on a plant-based diet and exercising every day, I can't seem to lose weight. I would like to be married someday, but I think guys don't notice me because of my weight. What can I do to increase my chances of finding a spouse? Lose the weight. I know you weren't expecting me to say that. That's not all. Of course, be fit, be feminine, be friendly, be gentle, right? Be submissive, right? Be lovely, be a woman. But I looked into this a little bit for you, okay? I looked into this a little bit. I want to know if you're doing these things. And if anyone else out there has PCOS, let's talk. Hopefully this will be beneficial to you too. So polycystic ovary syndrome is a common hormonal disorder that can have a significant impact on many aspects of a woman's health, including her weight. One of the hallmark symptoms of PCOS is insulin resistance, which can make it more difficult to maintain a healthy weight. All right, so let's talk about managing your weight with PCOS. Balanced diet. You mentioned you were plant-based, but are you eating a low glycemic diet, and are you staying away from processed foods? Sometimes us plant-based folks, we like to cheat, and we eat more than just whole grains, legumes, beans, nuts, and vegetables and fruits, but we'll eat all the fake meats, all the processed foods. How are you on your sugar intake? How are you doing with the chocolate and all that? Are you eating sugary foods? You have a sugar addiction? That can also be part of what's going on. Make sure you're getting your good fats in and all that. All right, exercise. Now, when you have PCOS, they recommend that you work out 150 minutes of moderate aerobic activity. So we're talking about walking, cycling, swimming, and some weightlifting. I don't know if you're putting in those type of numbers every week, but now you know if you didn't know. You want to manage your stress. You also, if need be, you might have to medicate. Now, I'm not a fan of these medications that I mentioned, the metformin and all that, and these hormonal contraceptives, but I don't know. If it's really getting to a desperate place, you need to pray about it. I wouldn't suggest doing that, but it is one of the things that are recommended, or one of the options to help you get the weight down is medications. And there's all type of other medications out there too you can look into. I seen somebody at the gym who lost a bunch of weight, and she was taking some type of shot that helped her lose the weight. I don't know if it's good, don't know if it's bad. Don't quote me. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm not a physician, but medication can be an option. Make sure your sleep is good. You gotta improve your sleep. You gotta get to bed before 10. Okay, you got to get to bed before 10. Sleep needs to be improved. And then, of course, lastly, make sure you consult with a specialist. Okay? Registered dietitian, endocrinologist, someone who specializes in PCOS. Those are my suggestions for you, sis. Okay? And don't be discouraged. Don't give up. That makes sense? Stick with it. God knows if you're supposed to be married, your husband is out there, right? He just hasn't found you yet. So stay encouraged, do your part, be healthy, live healthy, and be aggressive about it. Don't stop researching. Don't give up. Like, oh, I've tried everything. Now, you haven't tried everything. Keep trying. And remember, that's only one component of you. That's not all of you, right? That's not all of you. So be encouraged. All right, our next question. I am a 37-year-old single mom. I had a child in my early 20s, and although I love my child, I wish I would have done things differently. When guys find out that I have a child, they ghost me. Am I damaged goods? Mercy. They ghost me. Am I damaged goods? The damaged part is really up to you. I don't know if you're damaged goods. Do you feel damaged? When you say damaged goods, I think about the mental state of a woman and the mental state of a man. How's your mentality? How's your mind? Are you healthy mentally? Just because you had a child at an early age, I don't know if that makes you damaged, but it does make you not a virgin. It does make you a woman that does have a child, or a man that does have a child, right? Your constitution has changed from what it was to what it is now. The best advice I could give you, and I have said this on another podcast, another episode, you should be praying that God would bring a man into your life who has a child already, ideally. I think that would be the easiest thing for you to do. That you would meet another man who has a child, and you guys, I don't know if he would want more babies or not, if you both would want more children or not, but that you guys can come together and raise your children together. That would probably be the most ideal scenario. And now let me say this to you. If you are the type of woman that says, oh, I don't want to, this would be crazy work. If you respond to that, well, Brother Gordon, I don't want to marry a man or meet a man that has a kid. Well, so then why do you think a man wants to meet you if you have a kid? All right. So you got to be open. You didn't say you were not open, but I would hope you would be open to just meeting another man or meeting a man who has a child. And therefore you guys can do a little Brady Bunch thing. Okay. Giving away my age there with that statement. Moving on. You may find a man who is single and would love to be the father of your child, but he would probably want to have his own children as well. And you're 37. So I think your most ideal position would be to find a man who already has a child. And by the grace of God, you may find a man who is single, no children, willing to be coming to your family that's already there. All right, our next question. Why do guys say that they want a woman with substance, but oftentimes go for women solely based on looks? Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, when you say guys, I'm going to assume that you do mean Christian, God-fearing men. Okay, I hope that's the case. Hope that's who you are looking at as potential suitors. When you say substance, sis, when you say substance, what do you mean by that? Okay, because here's what men want in general, okay? They want you to at least be fairly attractive. And what I mean by that is that you take care of yourself, keep your hair combed, you're not super overweight, you look feminine, you got good hygiene. Most men are not looking for centerfold, I don't know, cover models. You know what I mean? They're looking for average women that have a little level of attractiveness to them and look good naturally. It's going to be honest. Listen, they can even be a little thick, on the thick side, depending on the type of man you're dealing with. Like, they're not asking, I don't think men, we're not asking for a lot, sis. We don't want a lot. What's going to outweigh the beauty, the most attractive woman? Oh man, she's argumentative. If she's loud, disrespectful, not feminine. I mean, these things will outweigh her beauty. You know, like, it's just going to outweigh her beauty. And if you do find a man who's only concerned about your beauty and will overlook the being loud, maybe not being intelligent, just so you can be a trophy on his arm, you want to avoid that man at all costs. God-fearing men, they're looking for a Proverbs 31 woman. It's not rocket science. But why are men attracted to beauty? Well, here's the reality. Men and women alike, I think we would be naive, or we wouldn't be honest if we didn't admit that the initial attraction may very well be due to looks to some degree, but it should be a very low degree. Like, you're just naturally going to see a person, you know nothing about them, and you're going to be, oh, this person is attractive. Maybe I should get to know them a little more. But true love, hear me, friends, hear me, listen to this. True love is not a strong, fiery, impetuous passion. On the contrary, it is calm and deep in its nature. It looks beyond mere externals and is attracted by qualities alone. It is wise and discriminating, and in its devotion is real and abiding. I'm Gordon McGee. This is the No Pillz Podcast, Love Fully Scripted. I'm signing off, and I will catch you next week.